Hey, what's up? We're back. It's been a while. It's been 3 weeks. I'm glad to be back. Back in the saddle. It's going to be a great show. Matto's here. Third time, Matto?
Yes, third time. Thank you.
Good to see you again.
They
John's
say
here.
that's a charm.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, John. Good to see you.
Hello.
Brendan's here in the pirate bar.
Cheers. Hello.
Cheers. What are you drinking there?
This is a Chi-Chi. It's vodka and pineapple juice, a little bit of cream of coconut, some lime juice.
Nice.
A little bit of horchata in there.
That's the first on the show.
Yeah.
I'm on the Captain Crow. A little bit.
All right. Well, cheers.
Pirate themed. Actually, it is pirate. Look, it has a pirate.
I'm going to open my CC Lemon now.
CC Lemon, the best soda in Japan.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it's great to be back. It's great to be back. It's going to be a great show. Let's do the. Yes. All right, then. Yeah, let's do the like and subscribe. Always helps. There you go. Let's see if anyone's in the chat.
Wow.
There will be.
I believe you.
In the chat. Hey, there he is. Scoots, how you doing?
Cheers, bud.
Cheers, man. Good to see you. The designer of the classic Analog Attack logo.
Nice.
There you go. Shall we get going? We were kind of chatting about Skullfest a little bit, but
Yeah.
really want to hear about the Skullfest stories. If we have time, we'll do it at the end. But everyone's
Reasonable.
from Scott. Hey, welcome back. Cheers, Pam. Hey, the gang's all here. Mike's here. Oh no, we're gonna be back every week from now on, probably. Every week, unless something happens. And shall we get going?
Sure.
Let's get going.
Everyone knows the score. We've got 5 or more records. Something new, something old, a classic, a forgotten gem. Who knows what we've got? I'm looking forward to everyone's picks. We've got 5 each. We'll go around and do 1 each and have a good time. Have a good time talking about some great records. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, I'm gonna. There you go. You can practice with the CC.
Yeah, I need a lot of practice. A lot.
There you go. Okay, so last month, I think it was last month, suddenly out of nowhere, this reissue was announced of a 40-year-old like Japanese hardcore compilation album. No one saw it coming. It sold out in like 2 hours apparently, but there's going to be a repress. The demand is very high for this record, so this was a real good one to kind of. This doesn't happen very often, I want to say, like real old, like classic, like Japanese hardcore, especially compilations. They don't really get reissued or repressed very much, but this one did, and it's a classic. Anybody know what it is? Any guesses?
Oh yeah, Unlawful Assembly.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Like no one saw this one coming. I guess it's like the 40-year anniversary. Came out in like 1984 on AA Records.
That's crazy. It's been that long.
It's 40 years, man. Yeah, 40 years.
I guess 84. Yeah.
And I guess like MCR and like Crust War have now got access to like the entire like AA Records back catalog. So I'm not sure what else they might do. They've done some like CD stuff, right? Of like Laughing Nose and stuff. Yeah, this was like, like I said, just kind of came out of nowhere. This is like, I'm gonna say it's like the second, like really important like compilation of this like first wave of like Japanese hardcore. There was another one which I kind of like a little bit better. I'm going to show it actually, just to sort of do a lot of compare and contrast. But it's got, I mean, it's got all of the bands at the time, right? Laughing Nose, Boars. It's got the Gizm. It's got that Gizm track, which is like kind of the instrumental. you know.
Mhm.
Nervous Core, which is fucking great. If anyone's seen like the first like Gizm VHS, that's the song at the beginning, you know, with the monster.
okay.
It's kind of that like slow, like heavy one. It's such a good
Yeah.
song. But does anyone like that song, like the Laughing Nose song? It's like everyone in Japan like loves that song, that like the I Can't Trust a Woman song with the kind of like the harmonica, me 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 me. It's kind of goofy, but everyone loves that song here. You know, it's like a big hit. It's like a classic, you know, classic Japanese punk. So I think it's a little goofy, but that's what the record starts off with. You've got Alto from Osaka in their like super noisy era when they were still doing like the Chaos UK and like Disorder, like the real noisy stuff. And Zoo tracks are like vicious on this record. It's probably like their best material, I want to say. Who are Cobra? Like Cobra on here, like just before they became like an oi band. So it's like the hardcore Cobra, also from Osaka. But my favorite like tracks on this record, and this could be a little bit controversial, are like the lip cream songs. They're weird because for some reason I've never found out like why this is, but they have like the singer of the Execute and Gas Tank like singing on only these two songs, and he's like uncredited, so like probably he was already in, you know, under some contractual obligations with Gas Tank. They're quite a big band, but they're like fascinating songs because it's the only time that he ever like sang with them. So I've always been like really kind of not obsessed, but really kind of fascinated by like how they got that guy singing, and they're great songs too. So, and I don't know if anybody remembers, but on the original there was some spelling mistakes, and they've like corrected the spelling mistakes on the reissue. But it's real nice, pressed in Japan. It was cheap too because they pressed quite a lot. Japanese pressing looks beautiful. The first pressing like has gone, but the good news is it's going to be repressed in November. So account for the repress.
Yeah, I wonder how easily that will be to come by here.
I was wondering if like Tom from General Speech or Sorry State like got any of this first pressing. I don't know. Like apparently like Punk and Destroy in Osaka was like in charge of like the international like distribution.
Okay.
So it's possible that copies did make it to the US and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they should have fixed the misspellings?
That's a good. Well, it's not quite as like bad as like in like when you know that like they got rid of the swastika right on like the Gizm reissue.
Yeah,
it's just like
the fake movie.
Yeah, right. This is like okay, so it just basically it's like the lip cream song. It's called Rental, but on the original it's spelled with a P, like Pental, and that's it. It's corrected the P. The R. So you know,
reasonable.
You know, if you don't have a good eye, you might not even notice. There was one other thing that suddenly I noticed that I'd never noticed before. I don't know if you know, like the words to like "I Can't Trust a Woman." They're not the best lyrics in the world, you know. But it says they're written by someone. It says they're written by someone called Holly Roberts, and they're actually proper English. Like the lyrics are actually they kind of make sense. You know, they're not weird. And also, she wrote the lyrics. It says he or she, or Holly, I guess it's a woman, wrote the lyrics to the other song too. I have no idea like who Holly Roberts is. I actually Googled it to see if I like Holly Roberts, like laughing nose, but like nothing came. If anyone knows who Holly Roberts is, let us know in the comments. But mystery. Maybe it was just like a joke. Maybe they wrote it and just like put that as a joke or something. But
could be
right.
Yeah.
Any fans? Anybody you like this compilation?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. I've never had the come in possession of it, but I've definitely heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this is kind of not really fair, but can't help but compare it to.
Yeah, Great Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Which this was like the first. This came out like a year before. I think like the Gizm songs are better. I think it's got the Execute on it. But anyway, let's not dwell too much on this. The important thing is this got reissued.
Yeah. They're both classic in their own right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my first pick.
I mean, even at the record store that I have, we've had 2 different bootlegs of Unlawful Assembly come through. I mean, it's it's good enough for people to want to rip it off because they want it out there so bad, or for themselves or for others, you know.
But it's
and now
funny.
even label out of Milwaukee, Unlawful Assembly, which is an obvious homage.
There's a lot. It's funny when you think about it, like how kind of influential all this stuff was. Like years later, just that style, real unique. Like, I mean, you know, Gizm, Zoo, all those bands. It's like it's wild that they were doing that in like 1983, like 1984. It's
completely crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah.
It's kind of the trajectory for so many of the modern hardcore bands now, where they'll do their like U.S. hardcore record, and then the next one, it sounds metallic. They've obviously are influenced by Japanese hardcore, and there's guitar solos.
Yes. Actually, it happened. We talked about it actually. I think it was the last episode. Like this, like
the Miro record.
The Miro record is like the Execute, right? And also that band, The Dark, is like.
Oh yeah,
it's great. I think it's very clever because the Execute were amazing. So I'm not mad about people like throwing some like Execute influence into their.
Certainly not.
Whoa!
There you go.
Thanks, Robert. Holly Roberts is Cherry's ex-wife. Cherry is the singer of Zorro and Cabra, and he lived in Pittsburgh.
Cherry did live in Pittsburgh. He sang for Half-Life for a short period of time.
He did. He's told me about it. Yeah. Wow. Thanks, Robert. That's amazing. Wow.
That makes sense.
Mystery solved right here.
Yeah.
Cheers, Detective Robert.
Yeah. There's pictures of Cherry with Half-Life, and there supposedly are some like practice recordings, but who knows if they exist, and if they do, if anyone will ever hear them.
He should. He probably doesn't want them out there, but maybe Relapse Records can get on that. Yeah.
Well, Relapse was looking for them.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever they did the reissue, because they were trying to. I mean, they would just want more. They want more. They want to make more money. They want to put out more records, and that's obviously something interesting.
That might have been something that Cherry kind of negotiated, because I know that he did say, "Well, you can have Zorro, but you have to release my new band before you do that," which was like SHI, right? So.
Yeah.
To Relapse, that was an easy thing to do. For a smaller label, maybe not so easy, but that was definitely something that he kind of negotiated on when Relapse did the Zorro stuff. Right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's my first pick.
Cool.
Matto,
Nice.
what's your first pick?
Oh, okay. So
good to see you again, man. By the way, good to see you again. When was it? October? You were in?
It was last October, so it'll be it's like what, 8-9 months ago.
That's it. Yeah.
We had a great time.
We did have a good time. That's it again.
We did. So this is a record that I've always been pretty fond of, and I recently heard that it was going to finally get a repress, and I had been listening to it a lot after I heard that. So I don't know if you can read it. It's the Julia LP on Ebullition.
Julia.
Yes.
Oh
Julia.
yeah, hard to see.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to read it. You gotta.
It's like a black on black.
It's a pirate ship, though, right?
But it's a pirate ship.
Pirate ship.
There you
Pirate
go.
theme.
There's a theme
Pirate
developing
theme
here.
show. I've always really enjoyed this record. This came out in like 94. I don't think that band was around for very long. Maybe just a couple of years. It's like very much in that like Ebullition sound, but I always thought that it was something kind of different about it. It was more melodic and like a little bit more like kind of like already moving into a sort of post screamo or something, whatever you want to call it. Like it's as much Fugazi at times as it is like Drive Like Jehu parts, or like Still Portraits of Past and things like that. And I just thought it was really cool. I always enjoyed it. It's a split with River's End. I don't know if River's End, like, I don't know what other records they even put out, but if you can, I don't know if you can read it. I still have a sticker on there from when I got it, $6, and the label just says, emo. Yeah, I think I bought this out of Nate Wilson's distro, and he had a
Oh,
tendency to just sarcastically label things that maybe he didn't
sounds like Nate Wilson.
didn't like so much. So it was like emo. I probably have a lot of records that say that on there. But, yeah, I've always enjoyed this. I think it's definitely worth your time if you're into that kind of stuff. Especially if the reissue's coming out, that'd be an opportunity for people to hear this again, because it's not a record that I ever see anywhere. I just for the sake of this show, I looked it up on Discogs yesterday, and there was like one for sale for like $156. So
Wow.
I don't know if, again, that's like, I think if people knew about the reissue, it might go down in price. I don't know, but I thought that was kind of, I mean, it was more than I thought someone would want to pay for it. So
Right. That's more than $6.
It is
a lot more than $6. Yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend it. You know, it's a little, typical punk rock one sheet.
Man, that is so 90s.
Recording shop.
That's so 90s looking. You gotta love it.
Oh yeah, it's extremely 90s looking. And the back is more pirate ship stuff. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a solid banger in my world.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Does it sound anything like Reversal of Man? Something like that?
No, Reversal of Man is like more like totally like chaotic and like rumbling and constantly thunderous. This has got a lot of ups and downs and like genuinely like melodic. It's like, I don't want to, it's got like more, it's more diverse, and the songs can change tempo, but none of it's like constantly blasting. It's not that kind of like screamo-y stuff. It's, maybe a little bit more like Fugazi and Heroin than it is like Reversal of Man or something like that.
I only asked you that question because the other day I got like the triple LP discography of Reversal of Man for like $3. And it hasn't been out that long, and I haven't played it yet. I'm a bit scared of it, to be honest. Like
I mean, that's a lot of stuff, but
like, triple LP,
remember,
like what you're describing, could be a little much. But I'll get to it at some point.
It's in the wheelhouse. I remember playing with Reversal of Man, and I definitely have a couple of the records still, and that they were always solid. So I mean, it's a lot. That's a lot of stuff
it's a
at
lot.
once.
6 sides.
Yeah. Take your time, pace yourself.
Yeah, that's a lot of any band.
Yeah, it's a lot of anything, but you'll get there.
I'll get to it at some point. Tune into episode 120, and you might.
Is that out already, Matto?
Reissue?
The reissue.
No, I don't think. I looked up the Instagram, Ebullition Instagram, and they were talking about how it was in the works, and it should be out soonish.
Cool.
But they're only doing 500 of them, so and that it either will be, it'll sell really quick, or maybe there's just not, maybe it won't, because there's not that. I mean, I'd like to think that would sell
after tonight.
Yeah. Go buy it.
Yeah.
You might be driving sales right now.
Hurry up! Come on.
I'll have them in the distro.
There you go.
Nice. All right, John. What's your first pick?
All right, pick number 1 for me is a little record. I hope that's okay.
That's fine, man. That's fine.
Where am I going? Ground Zero.
That's good.
Living in Tandem. Surprised no one else from Pittsburgh had ever put this one on. This came out in 1982. It has the address right on the corner, Ward Street in Pittsburgh. You can see how wrinkled it is. It's wet from them printing it. But so the guy that played drums on this, Russ Smith, was in Real Enemy. This came out a year before the Real Enemy demo. And this is like as close to hardcore without being hardcore as punk could be, with Real Enemy being the first real hardcore band in Pittsburgh. But 2 of the songs on this, they're fast. It's got crazy, like the rhythm parts are what they are, but then they're just like fast melodic guitar leads over it for 2 of the songs. And there's kind of a slower melodic song, and then there's just one crap song, one like wannabe reggae, wannabe Clash song.
Okay.
Kind of
But-
the thing of the time, right?
Yeah, kind of a thing of the time. And I got that record for a $20 trade at the record store, where that's now like a $200 record. But it does keep popping up. I just saw Mikey from Mind Cure and Fungus had one for sale over the weekend. But it seems to be a record that not too many people know or care about, but I think is great. At least 3 out of 4 songs I would say are good on it. I don't think it'll ever get reissued. I don't know who would do it. I don't know who would contact, who would even know any of these people. They don't even look
Is that
cool.
the record is that the one that you said you were surprised nobody had shown yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not this one.
Okay.
There's other ones.
Okay.
I mean, this one I was a little bit surprised because I know
That's a cool cover. I like the picture.
it
of
is
the band
cool. Yeah, it's them playing outside. You can see a bus in the background.
That's awesome.
But I talked to Bill from Copacetic because he was like right up. Copacetic Comics is right upstairs from the record store, and he was like, I think he was surprised that I was listening to it or that I cared about it, or that anyone cared about it, because he was like around at this time, and he thought that they were a good band, but nobody gave them the time of day, and they just weren't the band with the staying power, mostly because it was an early punk band in Pittsburgh that Mike Lavella was not in. So,
Right.
What reason was there to keep him, But apparently a flash in the pan, but good.
I mean, I've never heard of the band, but like there are stages between where things became what they're known for and the beforehand is always it's always fascinating to see like what they were thinking before they landed on whatever it is that that mix of people came to that they became known for, or set the stage for like a whole new scene of things. That's always really cool to see.
Yeah. And I think that's the perfect like connective piece between the like first wave of Pittsburgh punk that has like maybe the Five or Car Sickness, which I know Eric Good just brought up on a previous episode.
You did,
and then you're like Real Enemies, Half-Life, so on and so forth. That they're the band right in the middle of those things, and it sounds like it too because it's fast, and it's like I said, if it's not hardcore, it's the closest you could do without being called hardcore.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a great picture.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. An interesting one, at least. Hopefully people go listen to it. At least some of those songs are on YouTube. They might not be the best quality, but it's out there.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. All right, Brendan, what's your first pick?
So I'm going to start off with one of my favorite records, Wolfpack, All Day Hell. This record pounds the second you put it down, and just keeps going all the way through. I think most people probably know that they've changed their name to Wolf Brigade. And Wolf Brigade to me is like the AC/DC of D-Beat. It's just consistently good D-Beat. And I know they have a new record coming out. I think it's called Life, Knife, Death. And that's a well I will drink at every single time, But this record just absolutely crushes from start to finish, and I can't get enough of it. I tried to get it as one of our songs in my wedding, but it didn't work out. But I absolutely love this band. It's probably, in my opinion, like top 10 D-Beat records of all time. For me,
that has Johnson sing on it, right?
Yeah.
I get so he sang on the first 2 records, and then like they were still Wolfpack, but the other guy came in. Is that right?
Yeah. So in this one too, they mention in the footnotes that that they were changing their name. So
Right.
like it's like one of like the last liner notes just being like, oh, and by the way, we're Wolf Brigade now. Which is handy.
Like that one and like Lycanthropunk, it's like
yes. Yeah, love it. Again, and anytime I'll drink from that well. Just, always consistent, always good, always pounds.
When you say like Wolf Brigade or like the AC/DC of DB, like they have some records that are better than others. Right?
Yeah, but I think that it's still that consistent. You know what you're gonna get.
Right, you know exactly what you're getting each time.
Yeah.
Right, and they don't deter too much from that, and that's fine with me sometimes. Sometimes like they do a little bit more melodic parts in some in some bits, but that's fine with me.
Yeah. Solid pick.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I was going to say something controversial, but I almost...
No, say it.
I'm going to say it. I am going to say it. I might like those two, that like Johnson era or Young era of like Wolf Pack, like a little better than like late era anti-Cymex. I don't know if that's like a controversial...
I don't know.
No, that's just a matter of opinion. I don't think that's too crazy.
I know it's the kind of thing that people might get angry with, but it's like so consistent and like pile driving. Like there's no like
absolutely
acoustic guitar like intros or like funky songs or like which you do get a little bit. Either way, both classic.
Yeah, that record makes me want to run through a wall every time I listen to it. So
those are good records.
Or get into a horrible car crash.
Right, the wall running records. Yeah.
Some sort of catastrophe. Yeah. I don't remember the last time I listened to it. I'll have to check back in with it.
And the thing with this one, it's like cleaner, but it's okay. Like it's still so heavy, and it's not too dirty and distorted, but it's like just a bit cleaner, but still just punches every.
They
time.
Haven't quite entered the stadium yet. Wolf Brigade kind of went to the stadium
right.
A little bit. All right, round two. I've got another reissue. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I think this is a very interesting reissue. This band has been like reissuing like their whole like back catalog basically on TKO. Everybody loves this band. This is not one of their best records, but I think it was like the most wanted and the most like anticipated reissue because it has never been reissued like in any format. Maybe CD once, maybe. It just came out. I've got an original, but I bought the reissue anyway. So Poison Idea.
Mm-hmm.
We must burn.
Yeah,
I did not like this record too much when it came out. I remember quite clearly that people were disappointed when this came out. I mean, we'd had like Feel the Darkness, which is kind of hard to top, right? And then Blackout Vacant was good, but not quite as good as Feel the Darkness. And then this came out, and it was like, okay, it's kind of a bit of another like step. I know, man. I think this is a great record. I think it's get repressed before, but I mean, the opener, like "Don't Ask Why," is like one of like the best Poison Idea songs from like that era. But they do get into like the more like rock and rollsy, like Dead Boys kind of side of their influences a little bit more on this record. There's horns and stuff right on this record, and and there's a few quieter songs. You've got the Gizm cover, which I know I think they did an amazing job on the Gizm cover. Not many bands can cover Gizm and kind of like get away with it. I heard Cicada was angry though. He wasn't happy about them covering Gizm. Of course he wasn't. Yeah, it's real nice. It's beautiful looking. All these TKO reissues are beautiful. It's all like foil, shiny.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
It's a double LP. You get like all the tracks from Religion and Politics, and a bunch of live stuff. It's funny because I'm usually like, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't want any like bonus like live stuff and demos and stuff online. You know, the reissue. I just want a straight like reissue.
Just give me the meat.
Yeah, give me the meat. But I have to say, like with these Poison Idea reissues and stuff, like the live stuff is really, really good. It's amazing, in fact. And you get like the Wipers cover too, which I forget what that was originally on, but it's good to have that.
Is it from that comp, the 7-inch comp?
Yes, it's up front. They do a cover of up front.
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
Really good.
It's really good, but it's good.
I have that 7-inch comp.
It's good to have that all in one place, and I think for a lot of people, this was sort of the most needed like Poison Idea reissue of all like the LPs.
I don't even have that record, so I'll keep an eye out for that.
Like apparently, like the original is kind of not super expensive, but it's kind of hard to get, and yeah. So yeah, I was.
That would make sense if it was in the 90s, pressed in the 90s.
Pressed in the 90s. Only came out in the UK on Vinyl Solution, and in the US on Timco Records, and it came out on CD, and I think that was it. I don't think it's been repressed. Then so people are excited to have this. And I think like now, in 2024, it kind of sounds better to people than maybe it did kind of back then in the rearview mirror.
That makes sense,
right?
Opinions you're allowed to change your opinion.
Yeah,
but you got to think about it like coming off of like Feel the Darkness. That's a hard record to follow up.
High bar.
Very true.
Pick it up. I guess it's like still out there. TKO. They don't. They make a lot of them. So if you don't have the original, like definitely.
Yeah.
Pick up.
I mean, TKO has plenty of other good records and good reissues. Save on shipping. Get a bunch of stuff at once.
It's so nicely done, and it sounds amazing. It's really well done. So, yeah, there you go. We Must Burn. I always loved the photos of Poison Idea from this era. Like each member has their very like own like distinct like style.
Their look, their own like 90s look.
Yeah, everyone's doing their own thing. Like it's like it's it's great. I guess characters. Each and every one of them a character, right? Two of them are not with us anymore, right? Slayer
Hippie, and Pig.
Yeah. And I guess this was the last record with this lineup, I think. There you go. It's a well-known band. Nothing too exciting, but
it is cool.
It's a good reissue. It's a really
You've motivated me to check it out again.
Yes, I mean honestly, fresh ears. You're a bit older, a bit wiser. You don't mind the horns as much as you did when you were 22.
Yeah.
It was a little rough, when you're young. It's like, God, what's this? This kind of slow, like rock and roll-y kind of song,
Depending on when, I might have loved it and hated the other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depending on like what part of my like life I had gotten into that. So
yeah, so Hard and Cheap, Jesse's Arms is kind of another one. Anyway, so let's not nitpick it apart too much. But there's some great songs on there. Matto, what's your?
Oh, okay. So this record is not the. It's like the third or fourth record by this band. I bought it when it came out. I bought it online. I'd seen this band a couple of times. I had like a 7-inch, and I had heard their first couple of records a lot because I had a friend who was really into them and constantly playing it in the car and stuff. And I'd always enjoyed it. So I just on a whim, I was like, I'm gonna grab that record. And I really like it. I recently put it on the other day and was reminded how good it is. It is Streets of the Lost by Big Eyes.
Ooh, nice. I love that band.
Yeah, it's like the best of like just kick-ass rock and roll guitar stuff and like great pop. Like if you could like put like Thin Lizzy and like Cheap Trick together with Ramones and like Protex. I mean, it's all those things. You can hear all of that in this record without necessarily aping all of those things. And the guitar stuff, every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh my God, the guitar stuff on this is really good. And the lyrics are good. The vocals are great. Every time I listen to it too, I'm like, oh, that's a catchy, like, really sarcastic lyrics and like poignant lyrics. The vinyl was really cool.
Well, yeah.
That's never a bad, I guess, unless you don't like that. Then this is awful. So, but yeah, I would highly recommend this record. I don't know if this is the place that most people would start with this band, but I like it a lot.
I like them all, but like I forget who it was, but someone showed like their first 7-inch or second. It might have been RT White, and like he hadn't heard like the LPs. We had a big discussion about Big Eyes a few episodes ago. I like all the LPs. I think they're all great, and I forget that it's the woman she writes all the songs and she's the singer. Sometimes that's it, and sometimes she has a few different members coming in and coming out. And
this lineup I think was like when they went back to New York City, and there's a 4-piece lineup, so the guitar stuff is like just awesome.
Yeah, I like all the albums. You can start anywhere with that band, I think, and be satisfied if you like that kind of guitar-driven, like super catchy. They got the name from the Cheap Trick song, I'm assuming, right?
Sure.
Probably right.
Right, obvious influence, but what I like about it is like it's got the guitar stuff and more of a Helicopters or like Black Rose, Thin Lizzy kind of like punker idea of guitar harmonies and like I don't know. It's just like when I listen to this, I'm like somebody really wanted to pay attention to like pulling in all the stuff they like about bands like the Helicopters or.
Good songs.
You know, yeah, it's just they're super catchy songs. I mean, I put this on and then I was like, I want to hear more catchy stuff, and I put on that Menson LP, which is a little bit more garagey, but it just like to me it always like, yeah, this makes sense.
I've never heard of that band, but all those bands that you mentioned, like them sounding and being influenced by, sound terrific. So I'll check that out.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Like, I don't know, I'm not living in the States, but like I feel like, well, they got signed to like they're on Don Giovanni Records, right?
They're on a lot of different labels.
Yeah.
There are a couple albums on Don Giovanni, and then they did a record. This record's on Greenway Records, which is kind of, you know, like a little bit more garagey rock, kind of like more out there stuff, but they definitely jumped around labels, but I don't think you can go wrong with it.
No. I like the cover of the first LP. It has like, I think they were a 3-piece then. They're like sitting on this picture, and like one of the guys in the band is wearing like a Disclosed t-shirt. I always like that when like there's someone wearing they doesn't sound anything like the band that they're in.
Right. The rock band is doing the punk thing.
Yeah.
So that's Mark Bronzino. That's wearing the Disclosed shirt.
Oh yeah.
Or you said Disclosed, right?
Yeah.
Whoever it was, but yeah. He's been in a bunch of bands you would probably know if you're unfamiliar with him. He was in like ANS and then Iron Reagan and Mammoth Grinder and he's been in a million bands, but I know he played in that band for a while. I think the only time that I saw Big Eyes, I think he was in that band, which must have been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now I think they've all have moved on from each other, gone on to do other guitar things separately.
Right. I feel like it's definitely like her band, right? I want to say.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Great band. I'm a huge fan of that band.
Yeah, I haven't thought of them in a while, but that is a good band.
Yeah. Big Eyes.
Eyes.
What's the name of that particular album, Matto?
Streets of the Lost.
Sorry, yeah, that's right. Streets of the Lost.
I think this is the 4th LP.
I think it is, yeah. Nice. Yeah, good band.
Yeah, I recommend.
Yeah.
Me too. Co-signed.
Those come through the record store pretty often. I should probably listen to more of them, of the ones that I'm unfamiliar with. Like that one, I've never listened to that one. I think I've only listened to the first LP and then maybe like 1 or 2 7-inches. just too many records to listen to.
There's not enough hours in
Too
the
many
day.
options.
Not enough. Yeah,
But this is a good place for recommendations.
absolutely. It's the place to be.
Yeah, at a bare minimum.
All right, John. What's your next pick?
All right, my next pick is a band that I was surprised that no one else had brought up ever before here. Was Cülo.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
But I feel like this was such hot shit hyped band for I don't know, the better part of 10 years, 10 years ago. I mean, this record's good enough for me to own 2 copies of it. You have to have the regular and the color variant. It's good. It's short songs, good. It's furious. It's stupid. It's got perfect guitar tone and no bassist at all.
Oh wow!
Completely unhinged.
I almost put that in my stack, John.
Really?
No, I looked on the list and no one had ever brought a Cülo record before. I was surprised.
I had that and I had the LP and was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they are problematic, so it's easy to not want to bring it up.
School me on Cülo. I don't know anything.
Did you ever see that band live?
Oh yeah, I saw them once.
yeah. Like
Once
you
every
said,
time
you
I
said
saw them, they were a
yourself,
train wreck.
completely unhinged band.
Yeah.
Like I saw them once and it was like, oh, that was pretty good. And the other time I saw, I was like, what the fuck what just happened? What was that?
Neutron Rats played with them in, where are they from?
They're from Chicago.
Chicago, right? In Chicago, and just I don't know how much of the issues were problems with the band or just technical problems, but like every time I've seen them, like it's been such a train wreck. Like they would take like 10 minutes in between songs and then play one and people would go bananas. Like that's how like
Oh, yeah.
I mean they were a great
Keep them
band.
wanting more.
They were so hyped, like to the moon, that like where another band would do that, people would be like, fuck off and leave. But like they would take 10 minutes in between playing songs and people would go absolutely apeshit. And then some weird thing would happen where they would like argue with themselves or something else would happen, take another 10 minutes and then play again. Like, but great 7-inch though.
Yeah,
Great
it was great.
records.
They put out a couple of great, absolutely brilliant records.
Yeah,
I had
big fan.
I forgot that they existed until I've had COVID for the past couple of days, so I've just been sitting at home staring either at the wall or at my phone, and I kept seeing a thing on Instagram with people being like, first concert, last concert, best concert, worst concert. But over and over again, I kept seeing people like, I wish I could have seen Cülo. And I was like, like multiple people. And there was like all people that are either my age or younger. And I was like,
I thought you were going to say they made best and worst concert.
I was going to say
they could have been. They really could have been. I only saw them one time, played with them, also in Chicago.
Yeah,
they didn't. They kept it pretty together for the set, but by the end of the set, the singer was naked except for his beret and boots, and someone came. It was at Rancho, if you ever were there. House in Chicago is now torn down, but someone came from the back or from like the back door to where like the stage, which is just you're playing on the floor, but like in a shopping cart drinking a 40 and just like smashed into them, and then they were just smashing back and forth in the crowd while they were playing. I think that they were good. It might have just been the experience. But the songs on this record, I can say for certain, are excellent.
Yes.
And everything
I'll
they
second
wrote
that, dude.
is good. And it was between this and the split they did with Tenement, which I think is also fantastic. But yeah, the great style of United States hardcore best on a little record.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Cheers to that.
yeah, under 10 minutes is all you need for hardcore punk. Anything more than that, you're wasting time.
You saying my Reversal of Man triple LP is too long?
That's different. That's a discography. Yeah,
Well, I also have a mini record that I'll pull
All right.
up.
nice.
Oh, hang on, let me take the gloss.
Oh!
Hold on.
Is that Screwball?
Yes, it is.
Is that the Japanese Screwball?
No,
it's
I don't
not.
think
It
they're
isn't.
Japanese.
It's not, because they spelled
They-
A. Japanese
I
band
think
with a C.
they might be from England, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think they're an English band.
Okay.
Yes, because anyways,
Do you see
Life
Big Ben?
Abuse, Screwball Split. This came out about a year ago. Great split. I don't know if you can see this well enough.
Okay.
What an old-timey way of
You mean what a perfect way to show off a record.
Screwball.
a lantern.
Life Abuse is an interesting band. Like, they have half their members scattered around Virginia. The others are in upstate New York, Albany, Altamont area. But this band, I mean, like, this record smacks at first crack. It's a great short record too. Both bands have 2 songs on it. But they both come in quick and hard, just how you want it, and then the record's done. You want to play it again. Life Abuse, a little bit more of that like D-beat hardcore punk. Screwball has like some pretty solid breakdowns, just a little bit more straightforward hardcore. But love this band. I think Matto, you were in. Mark Telfian was in.
Yeah, so Life
this
Abuse
band.
is, on that recording is Mark Telfian and Nate Wilson.
Yes.
Nate lives in Jersey. Mark's from Richmond. He lives in Richmond.
Yeah.
And then Dan Barker.
Dan
obviously
Pretty Boy
from
Barker. Yeah.
And then Sean Duty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sean.
from Albany. Police
yes.
Lines. Sean Duty.
Yeah, it's a Rogues Galley mashup, but it's awesome. I don't know how they practice, because I know it's hard enough for bands to practice when you live in the same county, but to be from Virginia and New York, to practice together, to sort out records, and then to play shows.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Is pretty
the Life
impressive.
Life Abuse stuff is pretty good, and it's kind of what you'd expect.
Yeah, I love the Life Abuse stuff. How many bands were you in with Mark, Matto? You a couple, right?
Just Hail Mary.
Oh, just okay. I thought it was
Mary. That was the only band I was in with Mark. But
okay.
Nate and I were in a lot of bands together.
Yes.
So when I heard that, I was like, "That's all." It was, I was like, "I like this. I know this. I'm familiar with this."
Yeah, I just saw Nathan said Screwball's the guy from Crew Cut Records.
Right? Isn't that the label that put that out?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks, Nathan.
Crew Cuts, stomping on the skull.
Oh yeah,
old skull stomp.
Classic.
Of course. What else are you gonna do with a skull?
Nice. Cheers, everyone.
Terrific bands.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's my turn again, right? Round 3.
Pump yourself up, Mike.
All right. Okay. Get ready for this one. I'd like to introduce a band that I guess nobody would have heard. I'm presuming. The band is kind of basically the mastermind of this guy that I know in Tokyo called Jay. He's like the kind of leader of this band, much like the Big Eyes. And he's like put 4 albums out under the name Fever Moon.
Okay.
First, second, third records are okay, and then he's just put out like the 4th record, and like it took my head like clean off. Like, if you like Leatherface, like Dinosaur Jr., that ballpark, man, like, okay, so actually Daniel's probably watching, Daniel Zambrano. I kind of sent him the Bandcamp link yesterday because I know he likes this kind of stuff, and within like 2 songs he'd ordered the record. So like he was like, man, this is incredible. Let's show the record. So this is Fever Moon, and they used to spell it properly, but for some reason like they're spanning it like this now. But
Mhm.
anyway, so it's basically my friend, this guy Jay, who's been living in Tokyo for like 20 years. He's an artist. He's done a lot of t-shirts for like Bifocal Media. He's done like Poison Idea t-shirts and Boris t-shirts, and he did like a DIY like skate deck. He does that too. But this is his band. He did the artwork, I guess, on this too. But man, like if you like Poison Idea, I'm sorry, Leatherface, like Dinosaur Jr.
I do.
Like just imagine like Leatherface meets Dinosaur Jr. with like a little bit of like 90s indie rock with like fucking huge like fuzzed out on it and amazing songs. Like honestly, I was like, I couldn't believe like how good the songs are on this record. It's called Back to the Whip, and the good news is, even though like the guy behind this band is based in Tokyo, it came out on Bifocal Media. So it's easily available on the Bifocal Media website, and there's a Bandcamp. You can listen to it if you want to check it out.
The cover is cool.
Yeah,
it's Jay. He's the artist, right? He's the artist, Jay. He did the artwork too.
Okay.
Wrote all the songs.
Really good.
Guitar, sings, but like he always gets like guest players to play with him. He got Mike Watt to play bass on like 3 or 4 songs.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
There's a whole bunch of other people that played in it too. Like he even got like the guy that plays organ in like the Liam Gallagher band to like play. I don't know how he did that. Then maybe they just friends. Yeah. But, honestly, I'm not just saying this because he's a friend of mine. I was honestly blown away by like how amazing this record. And I think it's going to get overlooked a little bit. It's it's a little bit of a tough sell. But
when did this come out?
It's just come out. It's like it's brand new. So
okay, cool.
You can listen to it on Bandcamp, like Fever Moon, Back to the Whip, and you can order the vinyl direct from bifocalmedia.com in the USA for like $23 or $20 or whatever. I don't know how much it is, but
yeah, sounds cool.
I mean, man, it's like I'm super excited about this record, and I really want people to know about this record because I think it's going to be overlooked a little bit. And I heard a little like they've got a new record out or coming out like in the works. And I'm looking forward to that one too because this was like recorded during COVID, so it took a while to come out. So yeah, check it out. Check it out on the Bandcamp. Fever Moon, Back to the Whip.
Cool.
It's going to make my top 10 this year for sure. Absolutely.
You like it?
I like it a lot.
Sounds like you like it, yeah.
Because honestly, and I know Jay will watch this, I thought that the other albums were like, okay, they weren't amazing. But this one, Jesus. It's up there, like Leatherface, Dinosaur Jr. Do you know that band Off With Their Heads? I'm not familiar, so...
I've seen them once. They're very like they seem to do a lot. I just see the name all the time. I don't have any other records.
Because Daniel, who I sent this to, he was like, "Man, they remind me of like Off With Their Heads a little bit." I haven't heard Off With Their Heads, so I can't say.
Do you think people have a hard time figuring out the name of that band?
Well, it wasn't. Well, they used to spell it properly, like until this record. That's my only complaint, and I know Jay will be watching this, but I think they should spell it as they.
I think that actually looks way cooler.
It does look cool, but
it's going to be confusing for people. But if you're willing to put the effort in to figure out what it means, then you're like, oh,
it's like a black metal logo.
Yeah, totally.
But
if no one explained that to me, I might be thinking it's some like KFMDM type.
Yeah. It's my one. I wish they had just kept it as like Fever Moon. It does look cool, but it's like.
I mean, Fever Moon is a cool band name.
That's a good name.
Like to shorten it, like might.
And all the other records, Fever Moon, spelled Fever Moon,
right?
Except this one, but maybe Jay just did it just to fit in with the artwork,
Yeah. Does it say? Is it spelled out in full on the spine?
No.
They're committing to it.
Same.
What about on the back?
Yeah.
I appreciate the commitment.
If I wasn't on this show, I might pass because of that.
Well,
Yeah.
I want.
Can you check out the Matrix?
I'm begging you,
The
everyone,
run out for us.
Check it out.
go to Bandcamp and listen to this. And like, you know, sometimes I'm afraid that I'm like too enthusiastic sometimes about stuff that I like. But fuck it, I love this record. So
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah. Check it out if you
If
like.
I was allowed to open another window on Google
You're not
Chrome right
allowed.
now, I would.
Anyway, that's my
Can't open any windows.
Yeah, no more windows on Google Chrome.
bifocalmedia.com.
Yeah.
Check it out. Or Bandcamp. Fever Moon, spelled like this. It's great when one of your friends like puts out a record and it's like, damn man, you fucking knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Record, man.
Yeah.
It's like, there we go. Fever Moon.
All right. I found it. I'm never going to forget it now.
All right, where are we? Matto.
It's Matto soon.
Matto.
Okay. This is a record that I got at a show. I played a show with this band in New Jersey, and I had a 7. I don't know if the 7-inch came out first. If the LP came out, I think the LP actually came out first, and they have a 7-inch too, so a split 7-inch. But played a show with this band, and I thought they were awesome. Grab the record at the show, and this is something that I regularly go back to. It's Brain Eaters.
That's a hard one
Self-titled.
to find, man.
Yeah.
You can't find that in Japan.
No, there's no pressing of it. Like it's like there's like 200 of them or something.
And they only sold it on that tour, right?
Yeah, I got this on the tour. So this is the tour edition. Mine's 29 out of 150. I love that there's nothing to it. It's just, you know,
It looks cool.
Fold over. Yeah, it's just a fold over. There's nothing to it. There's no information on the label. Like there's just nothing to it. But it's awesome. It's like very anthemic, just awesome Japanese hardcore from Yokohama.
They're from Yokohama. Yeah, that's right.
Lot of like, just every song is like an epic.
It's in the style. It's in the traditional like fist raising, fist pumping.
Yes, I feel like I'm on a mission every time I put this record on. I'm in the kitchen doing dishes, and I'm just like, you know, I'm battling these dishes, or I don't know. It's just it's awesome.
Do those dishes.
Yeah, it gets me pumped. They were really good when we played with them. I think I actually have video recording of that entire show because I had a little shitty camcorder, and I brought it with me, and it just was like the little tapes. And when you have to get a bigger tape to put the little tape in, so you can play it in your VCR. So I have like 2 of those tapes with like a bunch of random stuff from those couple of years in the early 2000s that someday I will figure out like some way of digitizing it.
Wow.
Put it on the
You
internet.
can go
or
to one of
something.
those wedding stores and they'll change it up for you.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. It could very easily do that. Well, I probably not. I'll just talk about doing it forever. But that's a good idea. It's on Human Stench Records, which was a label out of Pittsfield, Massachusetts, which is not far from Albany. And at the time, Albany and Pittsfield bands would play together all the time. I want to say I can picture the person who did that label. I just, for the life of me right now, cannot remember their name. But there was like an Inmates record on Human Stench, a Stupid Babies Go Mad Brain Eater split 7-inch.
Also from Yokohama band.
Yes. So Police Line, an Albany band, I think they did a record on Human Stench. So not a ton of releases. I think this is maybe one of the last releases on that label, but some cool stuff. And I think this record is awesome. It's perfect length. Songs are pretty ripping.
That needs a reissue. Absolutely. That's like only 200 copies. It's really crazy. That was during a time where a lot of Japanese bands were starting to like tour the States right around that time. That tour seemed to be like a little bit kind of under the radar, maybe. Like I don't know.
I think that's probably a fair assessment. I mean, I remember at the time me being excited about it, but I didn't remember hearing a lot of people being like, we're going to go to the Brain Eater show, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't like DSB or, something like that, right?
Yeah. But it was a pretty awesome show. And they were great, and highly recommend it.
It's a great record. I'm never going to own it unless someone in America, like...
If I find another one, I'll hold it for you.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, cheers to Pittsfield and Western Mass, too.
Yeah.
I love those, that group of mutants out there. Terrific people, great shows.
So many
Source
cool
of the
shows I
Nile
went to in Western Mass. There was this one Nine Shocks show that was in an abandoned gas station. And I just remember there were people putting themselves in garbage cans and like pulling the top down, and then people were just beating the garbage cans with like 2x4s.
Just wonderful people.
Total
that sounds
chaos.
normal.
Yeah.
That's a great pick, but I'm a bit jealous. I can't hide my envy.
So I have like 4 records that are all bands. They're B bands. I have Brain Bombs, or not Brain Bombs, Brain Bombs, something where it's just a black and white like piece of paper cover. They all look like this. So in my record collection, I keep them all right next to each other.
Right.
That's my like shitty covers, great punk records section in B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Because if you put them in, you're never going to see it because there's no spine.
Right.
So you have to kind of put them all together so I can see the little,
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Great traditional Japanese hardcore in the style that mohawks, beards, sandals.
There were definitely mohawks, sleeveless like jean jackets,
maybe a little bit of tie dye.
A lot of this,
raised fists, tie dye, mohawks, beards, maybe a flying V.
Probably. Let's just say there was. Yeah, we'll say there was by default. Yeah.
All right.
That's just going to grab a quick drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Take your time. Well, actually, don't take your time. Hurry up.
Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah. That was funny because Brendan, he was the one who said, what do we do when we want to go to the bathroom?
He knew he had to go.
What's the protocol?
Yeah.
Tiny bladder.
I'm usually a tiny bladder too, but I took my business care of before we started, so.
Good lad. Good boy.
Yeah, thank you. I needed that. You gonna hit us with a bonus record while he's gone?
Oh,
I'm looking to see if my
I could do
my 5 crappy records with impossible to read spine covers.
This is gonna be
too late.
This is gonna be one of my picks next week, but fuck it. Oh, he's back. Long Knife.
The comp.
Yeah,
nice.
That's it. It's good actually. It flows really well as an album. Actually, surprisingly, it's like Long Knife.
I've seen that band like 3 times. Always good.
Oh yeah, killer band. You've gone full pirate over there, Brendan.
I'm having a good time.
You spliced the main brace.
Good.
All right, hang on. Yes, it's John's next pick, right?
Yes.
I got another new old one. Vanilla Poppers.
Oh, nice.
Band. When did this come out? Maybe 2017? Yes, 2017. Cleveland band, except for the singer is from Australia. Fantastic live band. I don't know. The drummer who's in Yambag now, guitar player and bass player from Cruel Stir and Perverts Again and The Hell, a bunch of other bands. And then Christina, who sang, I don't know why she moved from Australia to Cleveland, Ohio, but she did. And luckily enough for us, they did this band. That was fantastic. She's doing a band called Swab in Australia now. She's been doing tours for bands there. Like she's doing the Dark Thoughts tour.
Yeah, right now.
It's happening right now. And she did the tour for Electric Chair she's done tours for other bands, but she's always been awesome. And then this band was just, I don't know, classic, just snotty punk with great riffs and I don't know, killer live band, catchy records. And then she had to go back to Australia. So that's how that ends.
Yeah.
Now, I think she tried to come back into America from Canada with her visa expired, and I think that means she's maybe not allowed to ever come back again, or she has to wait 10 years or however much time. So, but this record is great. Lumpy Records put it out whenever he was putting out a ton of killer records in a short period of time. And yeah, I think I might have liked. No, this was I think the best thing that they put out. I was going to say I think I might have liked the 7-inch better, but there was this, a 7-inch, in a demo. All were killer. Great guitar playing. Just I could say not a bad thing about it. And of course, it is filled with some cheeky Australian slang thrown in there, which just goes so perfect with punk music.
Couldn't agree more. Very good live band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They probably played Buffalo. They had to have. They were always going to Toronto and back. It would make sense for them to go.
I actually don't know if I saw them here, but I definitely saw them in Cleveland. And I want to say Pittsburgh, maybe. Did they play Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they played Pittsburgh a couple times. Yeah. There was a Skullfest where they played with Repos and Peace Talks. And there was another time where they played with a different version of Peace Talks. Every time they played with Peace Talks, we had a different drummer. Daniel, I think you're right. There were 2 7-inches. But they also played at a house with Yam Bag, Peace Talks, and Concealed Blade. I feel like maybe Matto is that. Maybe Matto is frozen. He looks frozen. He looks like he ate the gummy bears again.
Okay. Yes. Let's let him back in.
I love that band Cruelster too. You said it was members of Cruelster too, right?
Yeah.
I love that band.
Joe and Mike, the drummer and singer from Cruelster. Yeah, everything those two guys do is pretty much brilliant, I would say. Even tongue-in-cheek, but so well done that you can't be mad at it.
Nice. Vanilla Poppers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Vanilla Poppers, good band.
Swab also pretty good.
Yeah, Swab are also good.
Nice.
Jake Robertson from Us Mutants. I don't know how to say that.
Osmutants. Also a great band.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to come in with a record that I feel like a bunch of people probably know, but White Spade. Dudes from Midnight playing motor punk. I mean, just look at this logo. They're just ripping off Motorhead.
Right, you know what you're getting
that's
there.
Fine. Right, you absolutely know what you're getting into, and it's fine, and it's great. You know what I mean? A friend of mine, when Midnight first came out, was like, "Oh, hey, you should check out this 10-inch. This band sounds like Venom and Motorhead had a baby." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And to me, that sounds pretty accurate to describe Midnight.
Oh, yeah.
And White Spade is pretty much just if Midnight and Motorhead had a baby. So, I'd say that's the best way to put it. It rocks. It's, that motor punk that you can't get enough of, and it rips for sure. And it's a nice long record too. And I've been listening to that lately. and it's great. White Spade.
I feel like I showed that before. Maybe it's not on the list, but it's great because like it's amazing. Like the very like subtle differences between like White Spade and Midnight. Like White Spade is more like first LP like Chiswick era like Motorhead, whereas like Midnight is more like Overkill, Ace of Spades. Like
Yes.
like there's a kind of very subtle like difference between the two bands.
If you showed this before, my bad.
That's fine. It's fine.
You know,
It doesn't matter. But I think
I was honestly a little disappointed it wasn't Whitesnake. When you started holding up, I'm like, oh, fucking
Whitesnake.
Finally, a conversation.
Finally.
Oh,
Finally. I can
Let
be
me
my
get
real
in on
self.
this.
I know my Whitesnake records are just over there, but I'm not gonna. That's a good record. I'm not kind of sure why like Jamie did that. I think it's like that subtle stylistic difference between like Midnight's like Overkill, Bomber, Spades.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I think obviously Midnight has those cues from Motorhead too, but to be like, let's go full Motorhead and just shamelessly, you know, tear this and bite this off, which again, everyone knows and expects, but it works, and it's fun, you know, which is pretty much all I really give a shit about anyway.
It's a fun record.
Yeah, it's a great party record.
Beer drinking and hell raising.
Yes, or driving record.
Yeah. Beer drinking, driving. Obviously.
Got to get
Don't
Jamie.
drive, kids.
Got to get Jamie on the show. It's been a mission of mine for
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years. But,
So Midnight actually, I booked a show with them years and years. I think it was like 2010. They played Basement in Rensselaer. And I always thought that the singer looked like the motorcycle like gang member from RoboCop. And I brought it up to him and I was like, has anybody ever told you that? And he was like, no, I've never heard that. But I think the resemblance is uncanny. And maybe, you know, we all need to revisit RoboCop and Midnight. But underneath that mask, it's totally that dude from RoboCop.
that's why, you know, 10 years ago they were playing a Basement show that you put on. Now they're like touring with like Merciful Fate and like,
Yeah, I mean, which is tremendous for them,
Yeah.
and really, really awesome. But yeah, I mean, I had caught them at the end of a tour and was like, "Do you guys have time on your way back to just stop off, play this small show in a, you know, small area of upstate New York?" They said sure. They came, they crushed it, and it was great. But yeah, to think where they are now, to be able to have seen that show on a Sunday matinee afternoon is, you know, is great.
Oh, what are you doing, buddy?
Hail Midnight.
I can see the resemblance. I think if I'm looking at the same like gang member from RoboCop.
Perfect, John.
I opened the window on my phone, not on the computer, I promise.
Well, listen, anyone that's in here right now, like anybody, there you go. Oh, totally.
there he is.
But anybody else in here that's just in the room that isn't tied to this 4 square right now, look it up. Let me know what you think in the comments section.
Yes,
it's uncanny.
I agree. I do think about that though. I played a show with Midnight, like in a house in the back of a shitty bar, and just like and they played at the Rock Room. From that to like seeing them playing stadiums in South America, just like,
yeah,
this is cool. This is
to
crazy.
that point too. You know, they played Skullfest years ago.
Yeah.
And they did a cover, you know, of instead of Black Rock and Roll, they did Black, White, and Gold, talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, like,
Wow.
I don't know if they still play that number, but I have a feeling like maybe they don't. But
Jamie's a huge Steelers fan.
Sure. So, you know, it's just a ton of fun and a great band. So cool that they did that record. And, you know, again, you know, hail Midnight.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
we were talking about the Muro record, like in the last episode, a little bit.
Yeah.
On the show maybe killer record. There's another record though that just
Not
came
heard
out.
that one yet.
There's another record that just came out from Columbia with some like shared members, or at least one member, I think, of Muro. Same record label, different style. I like both of these records. Muro, everyone's like going crazy over the Muro record because they changed the style a little bit. Like we were talking about, it's like a little bit more Japanese hardcore, like influence. This one is more like fucking old Italian hardcore or US hardcore. It's off the rails. It's this record. Alambrada.
Oh yeah, that record's good. I have that.
Rios de Sangre. It's one of those ones that it's almost like falling off the rails. Like it's chaotic. They just about managed to kind of keep it together. It's like kind of late period Wretched and like early US hardcore. It's kind of noisy. It's like about as fast as you can go, like without going into like blast beat territory. It's like probably like 14 minutes long or something.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's ferocious, but it's also kind of catchy. I was just, when I was listening to this, I was thinking, one of the things I was thinking was, like, if Pusshead was still doing, like, Maximum Rock and Roll reviews, he would have a field day with this record, like, using, like, all the words that he used to use into, like, his reviews. It's all of those words, you know, like, slashing and slicing and, like, fucking violent bursts and, you know, all these things that he would used to say. That's what this record kind of reminds me of, like reading a review of like Wretched or something in like a 1980s like Maximum Rock and Roll. Great record. Bit of like US hardcore in there too, like Coro or like super fast like early US hardcore. Yeah. Very different to Muro. I think it's like just one member, I think, of Muro that's in this band. It's on Fuerza Ingobernable, the ungovernable force, I think.
Can you put that record to the camera? I want to see that cover a little bit more.
Okay.
It's really cool.
There we go. Coming in.
Oh, there's a lot going on in there.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
Cool.
Will Killingsworth, of course. The master.
War is bad.
It is.
What I'm gathering.
It's one of these ones.
From all of these records.
I don't like what I'm seeing there.
They are. It's one of these ones.
Yeah. I think
this has a thing for Doomtown Records inside, advertising the Indicator B 7-inch and the Corridor.
I think my version of that record looks different than yours.
Oh yeah, the Muro record also has like a couple of different variations, right?
Well, it looks like someone put in the comments that there's multiple covers of it.
Yeah, the Muro record has like at least two different, kind of like 3 posters inside, and this is kind of doesn't have posters, but it's just one of these fold out.
Yeah,
absolutely ripping like record, like 15 minutes long, ferocious. Has some like jazzy kind of guitar riffs going into some of the songs, but just a short, sharp shock from Columbia. Ferocious hardcore, and it's noisy. I'm not, I'm a bit fussy with like my noisy stuff, but this is great.
Yeah, the version of that record I have is on Unlawful Assembly. It's the US pressing of it.
There you go, and it has a different artwork or different color scheme, or
just the cover is different. It doesn't fold out like that.
Okay, wow.
It's not like a folding one. Unless I'm totally wrong. I am also on
NyQuil
right now.
Hosted by NyQuil.
Yeah. So I'm going to take one more little hit of.
Go ahead.
Matto, what are those tiny cans that you're drinking?
Oh, this is, we were talking about this earlier. This is
commercial break. CC Lemon.
CC Lemon. It's a soda from Japan. When I went there last October, I got kind of obsessed with it. And so...
be careful with that stuff, though.
Can you get that here
Emma got a
in the
small
United
case
States?
of it. She ordered it somewhere and had it delivered for Christmas. Because
Oh,
when we came back, I just couldn't stop talking
Traditional
about
Japanese Christmas drink.
Yeah, do a plug for them right now, Matto.
Yeah.
12 lemons worth of vitamin C in this little can.
Trust me, be careful. It's more addictive than crack. That stuff.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Wow.
No, I've nursed these like 12 cans since December, so I think I'm
I'd
doing okay.
have had them in like 2 days.
Wow. Well,
You've nursed all 12 lemons.
Yes.
well, Merry
It's a
Christmas.
lot of work.
Matto.
It's a lot of work, juicing lemons. So just pack it right in there.
That's a small can as well. That's a tiny one. That's a small can.
Single serving.
Shot of sea salt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You look like the Hulk with those tiny cans.
Alambrada,
That's
yeah.
why I
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
it before
yeah, no,
Mike
yeah,
started
it's like-
talking.
I
and
noticed
was
that. I'm
what
like,
is
that
that?
looks tiny.
that is tiny. I have never seen one that tiny. Anyway,
It's not.
Alambrada. Check it out. If you like the
That's a good
Moro.
record.
It's a good record.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I'll definitely check that
it's
out.
new. It's just been out like a month or so. Or,
Yeah.
Cool.
Worth checking out.
It
I would
might
say.
be overlooked by the Muro because everyone's gone crazy about the Muro records.
Yeah.
So definitely worth checking out.
Mhm.
All right, CC, what you got?
Oh, CC DeVille. I'm gonna talk about the new Poison record. I'm
Yeah,
really
talk
excited
dirty to
about it.
Matto.
Talk
Yeah.
dirty to Matto. This is a small record. We were talking about small records earlier. This is a small one. Just came out. It's 9 songs. I couldn't stop listening to it for a minute. It's the new Gen Gap 7-inch.
I almost brought that one with me as well.
Oh, there you go.
I had a feeling that might happen,
Mhm.
but I dared to see if I could squeeze it in. So, yeah, I mean it's pretty great. 9 songs. It's very fucking annoying because it's very good, and I have to keep going over to the turntable
Mhm.
and flipping it over and playing it again. So in that sense, it's driving me fucking crazy. And I actually started listening to it on Bandcamp because I got tired of going over to the turntable. So that's always a sign of like a worthwhile 7-inch. If you get irritated at it,
Mhm.
that's like, yeah.
Fine.
But
You got to make a tape of it.
What's that?
You got to make a tape of
Make
it.
a looped tape, right? I should do that.
The
I
dust
also
sleeve.
just really enjoyed this little kind of round dust cover.
Yeah.
So I just noticed that when I pulled it out, I was like, "Ooh, round dust cover." People from Delco motherfuckers, Dark Thoughts. I mean, it's a great Philadelphia band. You can't go wrong with it. Worth the $10, 100% worth the $10. Even
I
if you've
agree.
got to go 10 times to the turntable to get your fix. Fuck Shit, the second song on the first side, probably my favorite song on here. Fuck Shit. Yeah. It definitely pick it up.
That's a new
Good
one.
record.
New release.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just came out in July. I mean, this is like I don't even think this is like a month old yet.
Wow.
Like in terms of being in the world. So
Yeah. It cannot walk yet or talk yet. It's a newborn.
You got to keep carrying it.
Mhm.
but
I
it's recommended.
Yeah. The dust sleeve, the round dust sleeve is so peculiar. I've never seen that with a 7-inch before.
Yeah.
And I talked to Jim about it, and he said that was a surprise to them when they showed up. They were
Just
just
showed
these
up that
little
way.
round dust sleeves.
Yeah.
They had no idea.
I want that for all the 7-inches I put out now. I want the round bag.
Yeah.
If they
I
can
forget
make the
where he
round
said they were
bag,
from.
if they can make the round bag in the matte black paper without the stupid plastic lining inside, I think my head would explode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really unique. I haven't seen that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the band is gonna love that we're really excited about it.
I'm more excited about
Yeah.
it.
Hey,
The
any
songs are
publicity
okay,
is
but the
good
fucking
publicity.
dust cover.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's the it's in the details.
Matches the record.
Yeah, totally.
Round.
Yeah. This is a show of nerdery,
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes down to it.
It's kind of funny
Yeah.
how excited we are about that little
And
Yeah.
I did
Yeah, it's
make a
cool.
point of pointing it out because I was excited about it. I mean,
And
legit-
I was excited. I wanted
Yeah.
to say it before you
Yeah.
said it.
The
Yeah.
highlight of the show, highlight of the episode so far is the round thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are a
No,
good band, too.
They
I
are
promise.
a great band. It's great.
We played their record release show in Philly, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
And I got one of the special covers. It's like the cover of the Special Forces World Domination record, but just Gen Gap.
Awesome.
Cool.
Did it have the round?
It does have the round. The round
Perfect.
does sleeve, so we'll bring it all back again. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. John, what's your next?
All right. Old Italian records.
Oh,
We got one. Impact. Solo Odio.
classic.
Is there a riff on here that doesn't destroy? Probably not. This record is killer. I was surprised that of all 84 episodes, no one had mentioned it yet.
I thought about it a couple of times, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Great.
I was like, is this too obvious?
But no,
Is it?
maybe a little bit like it's not a big one, right? It's like a little bit,
It's just under the surface
It's just yes,
of Italian hardcore.
yeah.
But I think I like it more than a lot of the other ones, honestly. Like, I listen to this more than I listen to Wretched, to be totally honest with you. It just has such peculiar riffs, and the recording is shitty, but clear enough that you can hear everything, which I like. Sometimes you listen to an old record that you're supposed to love, and you're supposed to love it going into it, but you have to listen to it like 4 times to get to through the sonic disquality of it. This is shitty enough that it's authentic, but clear enough that you can immediately know it and love it.
You can recognize it immediately as songs.
Yeah, and is so peculiar of a record. The vocals, the rhythms, the shifts, and there's police brutality on the front. It's good. And it has as generic of a name as you could have for a punk band.
Yeah.
Impact.
But it does have a lot of impact.
It does have a lot of impact. Yeah. And it's killer.
That era. So,
yeah.
Go ahead, John. Sorry.
I was just saying another great old record that has not a real sleeve that's just like it's floppy. It's falling apart. You're never gonna find a version that's not creased.
Mm-hmm.
But you live it all the time.
I like that.
Yeah. It's got character.
I like when you get a beat up used record. It's kind of great. It means that someone actually really was pumped about it enough to really put it through the wears. People get upset about ring wear. I'm like, give me the ring wear version. I want that dirty, chewed up horrors,
Give me the dog-eared record.
Yeah.
Man, that whole era of like Italian hardcore, man, it's just like,
yeah,
it's those like kind of jazzy. There's some like definitely some like Black Flag like influences in there with like the jazzy like time changes and
yeah.
But man, with their own like ferocious take on like US hardcore.
Yeah, it's peculiar. It's a cool melding of worlds.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just great guitar music and really strong vocal performance.
Yeah.
As well.
And it does have that kind of it's about to fall apart feeling to it, but it just about stays on course. That's a classic in my book.
It's super hectic. It's like it's falling forward, but just keeps catching itself.
Yes. Yeah.
The whole way through.
It's an easy band name to remember too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's an easy band name to get the wrong record by because some Impact from Missoula, and you're like, oh, there's another Impact 7-inch. Oh.
Yeah.
And edit, it's just like dun, 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 dun. Not the band you're hoping for.
No, yeah. There's definitely Missoula or
Impact is like a Syracuse vegan
So there's gonna be a Downfall, Resolve, Impact, and I don't know. That's going to be this great split record of all these bands, and you're going to be like, holy shit, and they're all going to be horrible.
Yeah.
There's that like 82 to 85 like Impact Collection LP too, right? And then like another, is it a second LP? I forget. But, that's the one. The solo audio.
Yeah.
Classic.
Killer record.
Killer. Absolutely killer.
Yeah.
All right. Brendan. Brendan.
Man, I think I'm losing you
Brendan.
guys right now. Hold on.
You're a little fuzzy.
Brandon, you're a little fuzzy.
You're in real time. We can hear
Hold
you.
on.
His Pirate's Cove is going fuzzy.
Ahoy, mate.
He's out to sea.
Yes. Oh, there we go. Oh, let's fix that. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and then there were two.
Yeah.
That's a great record. Impact.
Yeah, I agree. That was the one that I was surprised that no one had brought up.
Definitely.
Oh, if I can survive.
One more round.
I'll get there.
We can do
We'll
this.
all get there.
Matto,
Brendan.
it's technically Brendan's turn, right?
Yeah, it is technically Brendan's.
Technically Brendan's turn. He's kind of lost his.
Yeah. Who knows?
Hey!
Oh, he's
All right. There you go.
Can you hear us? Brendan.
Hello.
Brendan. Brendan.
Okay, we back.
I think
I
so.
don't know.
Yes. There you go.
We good?
Yes.
I'm good. You good? Maybe.
Good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Let's
Sorry
go
about
with
that.
you.
I don't know if that...
That's probably like a little Wi-Fi
that
glitch or
was a-
something.
Okay, cool. All right. I think we're back on. Oh, my... Matto's gone. He's completely disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
Brendan, it's your turn.
I'm
What's
here.
your next pick?
What? What did I miss? Are
Nothing.
we done?
Nothing.
Oh, no. Wait.
Nothing
Brendan.
happened.
It was great
There was
to
no
see you.
mutiny.
All right. Bye.
You're bound to us for the next
Brendan, what's your
round
next,
of records, at least.
what's your next pick?
Hmm.
Okay, I got to kind of keep this thing going, so I'm going to go in with my
Yeah. Go ahead with one.
last pick.
Hopefully.
Going to Sweden for my
Oh,
my last pick. Regular
Yeah.
viewers of the show will know that I'm really into like the dark, Mass Hystery, Vanna Inget, Terrible Feelings, that kind of dark, morose, melodic, like Swedish melodic punk with that kind of dark edge. I love all that stuff. Especially like Vanna Inget. They're an interesting band because they kind of like went like kind of like more darker and darker and softer as they kind of went through their almost they are playing pop. They kind of like almost like left the punk behind by like their fourth LP. But
Yeah.
like two of the members of Vanna Inget have this other band, and I think I might like this band even more than Vanna Inget, especially like this second LP. True Moon.
I've seen this record. I've not heard it.
Man, it's like, there's like a lot of this like, oh Jesus, a lot of this like, there's a lot of like post-punk around these days.
Yeah.
Goth, like post-punk. Some of it's like a little morose, a little meandering. This is like big. It's like danceable. It's kind of a little bit poppy.
Yeah.
Like every song could have been like a hit single in like the 80s. It's like it's incredible. And the thing that sets this apart from like, I mean, the songs are amazing. It's like this kind of dark, melodic post-punk. But the singer, it's the same singer from Vanna Inget, but like she kind of sounds like Stevie Brooks or Ann Wilson from Heart.
Mm.
The record cover looks like that.
So you've got like these like 70s rock, like Fleetwood Mac kind of like vocals over this kind of like dark, like Cure, like Joy Division style, like post-punk, and it's like the most amazing like mix of.
That sounds cool.
It's incredible. Like it's a big one. It's one you want to kind of dance to, you know, in the alternative, in the goth disco, you know.
Yeah.
Great record. I don't know if any of you guys have heard that the Beast Milk like Climax record. I've talked about it a lot. That's also like one of these like big. It's a big record. It's like danceable. Yeah. It's almost like Sisters of Mercy or The Mission or something like that. It's not like slow and like cold and depressing. It's like upbeat. This is absolutely killer. It's like amazing. Amazing singer. Sounds like Stevie Nicks. Like I said, Stevie Nicks meets Ann Wilson singing over like these amazing, like dark, gothic post-punk songs.
That sounds cool. Right up my alleyway, to be totally honest with you.
This is the second LP. Like I haven't heard the first LP, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But this is the second LP. It's on Lövely Records. Came out in 2013, so it's already like 10, 11 years old. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel says the first one's even better. So wow, I'm looking forward to.
When did that one come out that you're holding?
This is 2013, and I think the first album came out like a few years before that. So.
Okay.
But it's still out there. I think it's on a kind of big label, so they pressed it. It should be easy to get. Yeah, True Moon 2. Great.
I'll check it out. I was expecting that to be new because I had seen that somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's like still around. You know, it's like pressed.
I don't know if someone had. I don't know. Maybe I was in Pricing Records. I saw it, or maybe just someone posted about it. Who knows?
Right.
Maybe it's a YouTube recommendation. Could not tell you.
Could be. It's a great cover. It's kind of purple. It's just really striking image.
Yeah, I like the purple.
Yeah, it's great. It's purple vinyl too. But yeah, I guess the guitarist who was in Vanna Inget was in Sister Sekunden as well. Hardcore, Swedish hardcore band. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stevie Nicks singing for like The Cure or something. Imagine that.
Yeah. 2016, and that one's from 2019.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
The fact checker says.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
True Moon 2.
Mm-hmm.
Top notch.
Do you think Brendan can hear us yet?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
We'll have to soldier on.
We will soldier on.
Yeah. All right, Matto, what's your last pick? I think.
Last pick. I had actually gotten confused with how many records I picked. I had picked 6, so I will just do the one that I had done first, and then I will mention the other one. This is a record that came out in 1998. It was a peak time, and I was really enjoying things like this. This one I particularly liked a lot. It was the first record I actually heard by this band. And I remember thinking, oh, it sounds a lot like Sam I Am, because I like Sam I Am a lot. But it's the third and final Knapsack record.
Mm-hmm.
It's recently been, I think all the records have recently been reissued. And I never owned this on vinyl, but I always liked it a lot. This Conversation is starting right now is the name of the record. It was originally on Alias. But the reason I liked it, because at the time I was like, oh, it just sounds like the guitar work from Sam I Am. And then when I got the record, Sergi, the main guitar player in Sam I Am, plays on this record. So I was like, okay, that makes perfect sense. It's, I think some people would say it's whiny emo. I think it's a little bit more like kind of pressing kind of dark indie rock with touches of this emo thing. I think it's pretty good. The production is awesome. Mark Schrombino from Drive Like Jehu recorded it, so it sounds great. I don't know. I don't think if you like any of that kind of stuff, I don't think you could go wrong with this. And like I said, it's available now, so it's
Nice.
not insanely priced. And the packaging is cool. And I didn't say anything about a colored vinyl, but it was this nice.
There you go.
Yeah, matches. So.
Yeah.
I was excited to get it, and I would
I
recommend.
love a nice tie-in like that.
Yeah, I would recommend picking it up.
Cool. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
And
I've heard of that band, but not heard them before.
What's
But
that?
now I have. I said I've heard of the band, but not heard them.
Same.
Yes.
Same.
And now I have a description to go along with it.
Yeah.
Which
If you like super,
I had no
chunks,
concept.
it's like in that kind of realm of those things. If you like that,
Mhm.
but if you like a little bit more of a little bit, the songs are just a little bit more sad and like a little bit more somber. They're pretty rocking,
Yeah.
but there's this kind of just general like, I don't want to say depression, but there's just a general like overtone of a little bit of darkness to them that
Right.
I like a lot.
But do you like Superchunk?
Yeah, I do love me some Superchunk as
Me
well.
too. Me too.
So my quick honorable mention was this record, Crusade.
Local band.
Yeah, from Osaka, right?
Osaka.
Brian
Old band.
from Drop Dead put this out. He does a label called Japan Core, and I actually traded this. John, don't get too upset. I traded a Peace Talks Records with him for this. He gave it to me.
I'm just glad they were happy to trade. You know.
Yeah,
They thought
and I know
those were
you're
equal.
I know you're a fan of Brian, so
That I am. Yeah.
it's cool. It's got this insert that's got all these cool pictures and a bunch of
yeah.
information. I don't think this is a very short-lived band.
Yeah.
The crazy cover.
Yeah, it's a very cool looking cover. It's like you're sitting there in middle school, like drawing what you're gonna do at band practice later.
Yeah.
You know, show you haven't played yet because you've never played a show, but you're imagining.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel says he's wearing his Crusade t-shirt right now.
What are the
Nice.
chances?
Nice. But it also so this has their 2 demos.
Yeah.
And then it has this live flexi. Now, I
Nice.
saw some pictures on the internet, and this live flexi has a cover that I don't have. So what the fuck, Brian? And also apparently it came with a sticker that I don't have. So
Wow, you got
Swindle.
ripped
fuck,
off.
Brian.
Swindle.
Yeah, but you know, so definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, they were kind of part of like the crasher crust like scene in Osaka for like a short period of time. So they used to play with Gloom and like bands like that. But yeah, bit short-lived, just like 2 demos, like you said. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, it was pretty standard, but pretty reliable, pretty awesome crust stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Osaka crust.
Wow.
All right,
Brandon, can you hear us?
I think like John is going to have the last pick of the day. I think.
Yeah, it's looking like it. I got this old reliable, and by old I mean not very old at all. I don't know what year this came out. 2008, or I recorded 2008. Socialcide.
Oh,
This is a band. I think they're from Virginia, not one of the big cities in Richmond. I know this says North Carolina is where it was recorded, but even worse than Kangaroo Records put this out.
wow. Okay.
That should be enough.
Kangaroo is reliable.
That should be enough of an endorsement for you.
Yeah.
It sounds like the first Rick Agnew record, adolescence, inspired, punk, snotty, great guitar work, and you're getting ripped off if you pay more than $6. It is a very cheap LP. You might even find it in the dollar bin some places, but it's so worth it. It's such a great record that apparently no one knows is good. Yeah, and it has at least this many songs on it, and they're not 30-second songs. This is great, though. This is a truly great record. I don't know why it's so cheap. I don't know why no one knows about it, but these records are still out there for the time being. Not a bad song on this record, I would say. Well worth your time.
Oh man, I'm excited about that. Like
Yeah.
Kangaroo Records, Rick Agnew, and it's got to be good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's all there. It's good. And that's it. Mike, do you know this one? Where is it? Anxious Living?
No, I don't.
Based on what you were saying earlier about Massasteri, Swedish, sort of poppy, downtrodden music. This is a band from Singapore. When you were saying that, I was like, I think that tape is on top of the stereo right now. I'm going to reach over and grab it. This is something you'd probably be into.
Nice one.
They only put out this one tape, but it's on Bandcamp and stuff too. But you dig it. There's a Wipers cover on it too.
Oh,
that they do a good job of. But
beautiful. Yeah, I'm a sucker for all that, like that downtrodden, like melodic, poppy, Swedish style stuff. Brendan, one last shout. Can you hear me? Can you hear us?
Should we guess?
Let's guess his last pick.
Can we talk to him in the chat? Maybe he could at least hold up his covers. I sent him a text. I told him to hold up the covers of the records we didn't get to talk about.
I think he's like so frozen that he's like 3 minutes behind. 3 minutes.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We'll have to.
What if he was 3 minutes in the future? And there's just no way for us to ever reach him.
Oh well, never mind.
Gang, the bike gang member from RoboCop came and got him.
Yeah, came and got him.
What year is RoboCop supposed to have happened?
He's getting too cocky with the iPad.
I think it's happened. I think it happens like right about. Maybe it happened in a time that's already actually happened. So.
Yeah, like a Demolition Man is in what is now the past.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's really gone.
Yeah, he's gone. It's been a great show. Thanks for coming on. We've had a great time. Great picks. Brendan's picks were great too. We lost him, but
we did.
What are you gonna
Have
do?
you lost people before?
Yeah, there's a few dead bodies under my.
Yeah,
it happens every now and again. You know, like Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I believe it.
The internet, the interwebs. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, let me just announce next week's show. We're back next week again. It's Friday, August 30th. 10 p.m. Eastern. Benny Hernandez, Danagaki, and Bill Malloy is back again. It's going to be a great show. So make sure you join us next week. As soon as we finish this show, I'm going to start thinking about my picks for next week. Maybe we'll carry on chatting a little bit after we finish up. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's great to be back. Sorry about Brendan. His pirate ship hit an iceberg.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes.
All right. Let me do the quick.
Hopefully we can get Brendan back, right?
He was messed by you. He was he? Okay. All right. Until next time, aka next Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Stay healthy and stay clean, and check out all the records that we've showed tonight if you haven't.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't checked them out already.